Alright. So, last time, the group, minus Dom, and Foe, actually, come to think of it, Eldorel, managed to get themselves in a little bit of trouble trying to get out of the city. Ran into a pirate-type captain, apparently, who gave them some trouble. And then they found even bigger trouble when they tried to go to the docks and take a ship to get away on. Everything they tried failed miserably. And finally they decided the gig was up, time to run, and a chase ensued. Finally, using their brains, they figured out how to make the soldiers think they had gone a different way when they actually were hiding out in a house. And that's where we left. So, you're waiting in the house for a while. You don't hear any more voices or running in footsteps. They're all getting farther away from where you're at. And Elle says, I think we need to go back to the temple and regroup and think about this.
Agree.
Friends, you mean you need to go back to the temple? Thunder Jean is out. You all are crazy. I'm going to take my chances with the city. Dwarf, you were kind of funny, but goodbye. So long. And
Goodbye, kitty. Thunder Jim, anytime. Again, hold back. Drop it on image of the children. The children would just love it.
even the bounty hunters go asking for a cat, you never saw me. Goodbye.
Jim, hold back. Go over to Hamish's blacksmith so you can hide there.
Can his exit be thunder, thunder, thunder? Out. Alright, so Thunder Jin, the Catman, has taken his leave from the group, decided he's gonna wing it on his own, because this group is crazy. You know, I don't think I asked you, Noob, how you wanted your character to be introduced to things. So we'll just do this. You all agree, let's go back to the temple, let's regroup, kind of figure out what's going on, and you don't run into any trouble on your way back. You've kind of cleared out the stuff in the immediate area around the temple. So the temple itself is very secure. That big statue that had broken through the back window and was stomping around the town, kicking soldier butts, is still doing that. It seems to be doing so meticulously. And it seems to know, you know, what people running around are okay and which ones are not okay. So you would suspect that it's highly influenced by Helm. You make it back to the temple. Noob, why don't you tell us how you want your character to be introduced? Or you can whisper it to me. Because I don't know if you have an idea of how you want to...
Essentially, you know, he's from the island. He lives in like the little gnomish area. So he would have either like met up at Holdfast with Mursk in the group and maybe now come to the temple on Mursk's behalf to help, or he literally just would have wandered right out of his like little hovel and come up because these stupid things are gonna be in his forest any minute now. So he better take care of these assholes while he can. Like,
okay, very good. So you guys make it back to the temple. Dom is still there with Captain Mursk. They seem to be... They have a bunch of maps kind of sprawled out around the temple on tables. They seem to be discussing strategy and what they're going to do and things like that. The father is also there, as well as Dorothea, who is now rightfully back in her place as the ruler. And she looks a little overwhelmed, but they're trying to engage her and teach her and help her learn about how she can be a better ruler this time around. And as you guys come in, Dom kind of looks at you guys like, where you been? What's going on? You kind of relate you had some difficulty, and the father speaks up and he says, "That's all right. I think we have a more pressing matter to deal with at the moment that I could use your assistance with, if you're willing to help."
More pressing than a war? This is gonna be good.
Well, it could greatly assist with the war, my dear female dwarf. He says, you see, back before Dorothea was made the ruler, there was a wizard who held court here. The court wizard, if you will. Master of the arcane arts. But the ruler before Dorothea didn't trust him. He was calling people out, didn't like the way the amulet was being used. And he found out that they were going to assassinate him, and so he fled. I very much doubt he's heard about what's going on. It would be of great service to us, and indeed to everybody, if you could find him again. We suspect that he's in the mountains, just west of here.
So you want us to go to the mountains and hire a wizard? Is that what you're saying?
No, not hire. Of course not. Just bring him back. Much as you did with our dear Dorothea.
What's in
What
it
if
for
he
us?
doesn't want to come back?
That was my question, Paladin.
Knowing that Dorothea has returned and that Helm is once again in control and has his blessing over the town, he will return. He and I were good friends. I believe in it.
So he's gonna leave his lovely little town and come back here into... Okay.
What's in it for
Thank you,
us?
Forrest. There's that too. The dwarfus is coming.
The father kind of looks at you, Roland, and he says, do you not think that you have been blessed already?
Of course not. That was a reward last time for our putting our lives on the line. Now you want us to do it again?
The father says, let me put it this way. The wizard, known as Zalan, he is quite powerful. I'm sure he has items that he would be willing to reward you with.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, I knew that would get him.
That was easy.
The
father pushes the button. That was easy.
If you ever want him to do something for you, there's 2 words, and he will never turn you down. The 2 words are magic sword.
Well, I don't know if he has a magic sword for you, but I'm sure he'd have a magic something or other. I don't understand all of that arcane magic stuff. That's why we need him back. So you're willing to do it?
Yes.
Well, I didn't see why not. Might as well. We're going that way anyway.
Very good, very good. He goes to one of the maps that's on the table, and it is the map of Terrastal. So here, let me move you guys over so you can see.
Are you in sharpshooting now?
Is everybody able to see it?
Yep.
Okay. So he takes out a map, and he points to where Breen is, obviously over here. And he tells you that the journey is not going to take you very long to get there. He believes that the wizard is hiding out somewhere in these mountains over here, just west. And he doesn't know exactly where he is residing. He doesn't know if he's taken refuge in caves or if he's built himself a tower. But he does tell you that knowing this wizard as well as he does, he's probably left a mark to guide those who are looking for him to him successfully.
I'm assuming the father tells us what this mark looks like.
He tells you it will probably be arcane in nature, but he's not sure exactly what it would be.
Don't exactly have a wizard or a sorcerer in the group.
Ah, of course you do. That's me.
I repeat myself. We don't have a caster in the group.
We'll figure it out. We'll be all right. Yes, magic items. Come on, we gotta go for it.
Roland can smell free shit.
Yeah.
Let's just follow him.
The father will tell you that for a while, the people of Breen and kind of the surrounding area, especially considering that it's close to Dwarven territory, there are several mines that run throughout the mountains. and he believes that there's a very good possibility that Zaylin went into one of these mines and is further hiding in the mines somehow. He doesn't know how exactly, but Zaylin was always good at survival and figuring out how to keep himself alive. So he tells you to look for possibly some of the bigger areas that have been mined. That might be a clue.
Yeah, when you start talking about when he starts talking about like mines and mining and people being there, and Roland's eyes just get real big. Like super intrigued.
Says, I'm glad to see there's finally something that tickles your fancy, young one. Alright, is there... Noob, I will bring you in here just a little bit later to things. Is there anything else the group would like to do? Oh, I forgot. Elle, at this point, she's been kind of consulting with the other elf that came up from Silverkeep to retrieve her, air quotes. And she kind of steps forward and she says, I think this is a mission for you, not for me. I think it's time that I return to Silverkeep after all.
Okay, well at least I won't be out and there's somebody shorter than me. Things are improving.
She says, I don't want us to part on bad terms. So I apologize if there's any ill feelings. Just I will return to Silverkeep and work to convince my people that it is for the best that they get involved in what is going on.
Well, that would be helpful, thank you. Thank you.
She brings her hand kind of across her chest and across her heart, and she kind of does a small bow to you, and she takes her leave with the other elf. They walk out.
Oh, and further, you wouldn't happen to have any, like, extra healing potions or anything on you, would you?
Oh, no, I'm fresh out, I'm afraid, my dear.
And okay.
My voice hurts me. Sorry. Anything else before you guys would like to try to head out of the city? No, try to head out of the city. No.
Those are probably famous last words. It'd take us 1.5 years just to get out.
Since Dom's kind of been keeping track of what's been going on around the city, he tells you he knows the best way for you guys to get out. He knows areas that have been cleared that he knows you won't run into trouble.
Okay, I guess we're following the paladin. By the way,
Well, you don't have
any
to.
nice ladies? Is there any nice ladies in this town? Because this paladin's stucky, and he could probably use a nice lady.
Oh God.
Awesome.
Do these paladins marry? You're a Helma guy. Do these guys paladins marry? I don't know. Anyway, anyway, if you find any nice ladies for her, we could probably use one.
Mike has no idea what to say right now.
Now, Dom's just kind of like looking around. There's a dwarf woman trying to set me up. I'm not interested in dwarfs.
I'm not trying to set you up with a dwarf yet, Rod. I'm just asking the priest I am if he knows any nice, like, Helmish girls for you.
I think at the moment, with there are people dying, there's kind of more important things to be dealing with.
No.
Not when you're on the road with a grouchy paladin.
Alright, so you guys collect yourselves. Before you leave, you get a full rest. So you have all your hit points, all your spells, etc. back. And since it's not a very far trip, probably at this point, I don't know at what point your game ended.
What happened to my
Mike.
hit points? They just disappeared. Okay.
I guess it was 2 days after yours did. You had 2 rests. That
What
was
about
it.
what time in the day? Are you guys gonna essentially wait till the next day to head out?
It was like lunch or afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll wait till
Y'all
morning.
actually didn't get very far, so it wasn't long in the day.
Okay. So you spend the evening, Finola's trying to find Dom a woman.
not
She's
gonna
a
lie.
matchmaker. Is anybody else doing anything in the evening?
Well, if
into the
can't
morning?
cook, you need some serious help. Okay, let me just see if I'm gonna change. Okay, so
Dom's also trying to find himself a woman? Is that what's going on?
No,
okay.
see how charming he is today.
Oh, that's how charming you are today?
Today, okay.
It's
I get 4 cantrips, right?
I don't know, I gotta look at my book.
I think it's 4. Anyway, I'm just trying to think if I'm gonna dump one to change one out for furniture. because I think-
Yeah, if anybody wants to change anything out, if you have the ability to do so. You're at 4th. Yep, you're at 4.
okay,
You
yeah,
also have 4 first level spells and 3 second level
Second.
spells.
I'm just checking. Okay, those are all good. That one I never used, so maybe I'll dump that out.
Okay. Alright, so next morning comes around, you guys pack up your stuff, prepare to leave, bid goodbye to everybody, and you take off. It doesn't take you very long, a few hours at the most, before you come upon kind of the base of the mountains. And there's a very clear path that kind of goes up and starts winding its way upward.
Can
And
I
that
use my-
really is
Can I use
What's
my
that?
spyglass from down here to see what's up there?
Sure. Just roll me a perception check, I guess.
Yeah, I don't see much.
Yeah, it's a mountain.
Alright.
It goes up.
Big rock.
There's a path. And that really is all that you see as far as a easily accessible way for you to start making your way up into the mountains. You don't see anything in the way of a sign, so to speak. Are you wanting to try to go anywhere else? Or are you going to take this path?
Well, I mean, do you see anything else?
Anybody else can roll a perception if you want to try. You sure don't. Alright. Anybody else want to roll?
Oh, ooh.
Oh, they're coming to get you, Finola. Run!
Yeah, I know. I look like getting stored with
Gotta go, bye!
fire station.
So, Dominic, kind of looking around, checking out your surroundings, you believe that that path is the best accessible path to go up. Trying to go any other way would be dangerous, require a lot of heavy rock climbing and such.
Check.
I think we're all still here.
Oh, okay. That's really quiet.
Somebody tell me what you're doing.
I guess Dom will lead the way.
Alright. So you head up, the path kind of winds its way with the topography going up and around. And you get up good little ways up, mile or so. It's not too bad. You've kind of noticed along the way that it looks at one point this was probably pretty heavily traveled going up and down. And you get to the top and there's an area that's kind of been flattened out. The mountain's kind of been pushed back to create this wide area. And it looks to you like at one point this was a heavily worked sort of mining operation. There's even some remaining tools and things kind of laying around here and there. But for the most part, it looks abandoned. There's not really anything there anymore. And one of the things that you notice is there is a huge hole in the ground with a ladder descending downward into darkness.
I hate ladders and darkness. Okay,
You're a dwarf.
Do we by chance see the wizard's special marking?
Roll me another perception check.
Ha! Nope.
Nope, you don't. And
Dom's gonna cast light on a rock and drop it down the hole. See if you can see anything down there.
okay. Give me just a second. I gotta look at something here. Does anything tell me? Okay. Alright, so let's start with Elder Earl since his role is on there first. You know, the thing is, if I told you it was arcane in nature, you'd actually probably have to roll. Well, no, actually, sorry, back up. With your 15, you do see there's kind of a stone sitting nearby, and it looks like there's been something scratched into the stone itself. You kind of rub your hands over it to remove kind of the dust and the grime that's collected over time. You don't know just from looking at it, though, what you're actually looking at.
It does not look natural, though.
It does not look natural. It's actually been carved into that rock.
Right.
And let's see, Dom, who casts light onto his stone and drops it in, you see it go down. It's pretty bright for, 10 feet or so, and then it just slowly starts to descend farther and farther down. The light goes out completely, and you don't even hear it hit anywhere.
That's deep.
That's not sounding very safe. Well,
Did I notice Eldaril looking at this rock?
I don't know. Did you?
Well, I don't know. I'm
Is
able
your
to perceive
perception check from
crap.
earlier or from right now?
That was from earlier.
Okay,
Fine,
so
I can roll
roll me
another
another
one.
perception check.
There we
Okay.
go.
Yeah, you saw him checking out that rock.
All right, I want to go check it out, and I want to see if it's the logo that the wizard left.
The logo?
Or I want to see if it's the wizard's insignia or whatever it is that we're looking for.
All right, so you're looking at it magically or just looking at it?
I'll look at it magically.
All right, roll me some Arcana. So you take a look at this, and you're not sure exactly what it means. However, you do know that you've seen this before in relations to wizards that practice, illusion-type magic.
All right. I would like to point this out to the rest of the party. Like, I think this is the right place. I think we got to go down in this hole.
okay.
Which is meant by silence from the group.
Okay, sorry, I was looking something up, and just next time you guys just remind me, I can cast guidance so you can get a 1d4 to the ability check of your choice, and it's only attention. So next time you need a perception.
So we need to ask the dwarf for guidance.
Basically. That's what I heard.
So, while you guys are kind of checking this out or whatever, you hear there's kind of like this sound kind of off to the side, and all of a sudden this owl kind of flies out and whips around the area and starts doing circles above you.
Crossbow.
And at this point, Davey, you can choose your entrance time.
Oh boy, I just got back from pouring a cup of coffee. They're inside of like a mine shaft, right?
Not yet, they're still above it.
Alright, so this bolt goes, I'm hoping it misses the owl.
Well, no,
Are you
I'm
actually
pulling out.
shooting at it?
I'm not gonna shoot at it. I'm pulling out and I'm trying to aim at it. Obviously, it's moving. So
It just
yeah,
isn't
I'm gonna try to aim at it, but I'm not gonna pull the trigger yet.
I think
No,
as soon as you come up, as soon as you're pointing at it, the owl is suddenly going to disappear in a little arcane poof and you're gonna see this short. I'll show you. It's the picture as you see on my character sheet. Short little forest gnome, kind of waddle up, holding like a rapier and a shield in a little studded armor. Got his blonde hair. He's gonna go, "Oi, hey, Lord Almighty! You scared the shite out of me, owl! What you fighting that thing for?"
Well, it scared the crap out of me.
Who are you?
Scared of an owl? I mean,
Well, I
maybe
wasn't
it's
looking
not
for an owl, and it kind of jumped out.
I suppose it's middle. Right, it's middle of the day. I guess I can see that. Robbie, what are you doing up here? You with Musk?
We were, but who are you?
Now, DM, was I sent here explicitly on the behest of them? Because my character is a little arcane inclined. Maybe they were like, there's no wizard in that group. Maybe you're a little familiar with wizardly magic. You go help them out.
That'd be fine.
All right. Oi. Aye. Name's Davy. Davy Knockwood at your service. Here's my owl. Name's Bigby. I got word that y'all were looking to talk to a wizard of sorts. Folks figured you might need a little arcane help from a folk like me.
Well, since
So
we're off
you're the
to find a wizard. Anyway, since we're off to find a wizard, another wizard would be helpful in finding the wizard.
Oh, well, I am not quite. I ain't got a book or anything. I just got a little wizardly magic. And then he holds out his hand, and shoom, like a sword magic, a glowing sword magically appears in his hand. Aye?
Hey, that's handy.
Come on. At least patronize me and act a little impressed. Come on.
Wow.
I can do that too, and Bob pulls out his sword.
Oh, I like you.
I'm not
friend.
pulling out. I'm not rousing up my spiritual hammer because we got nobody to hit. Because I'm not hitting the gnome.
It's practical. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Alright, so where are you going now? Like,
Well, looks like we gotta go down that hole.
right. Well, you'll see like adventurous sorts. You wanna go first, or shall I? I can't get this accent right. Oh my god.
You're close. I've had that happen.
Just feel it out. Work a couple different accents. You'll settle on one eventually.
Exactly.
He's
You're not
like-
from around here.
Yeah. I am from Nomrin. Nomrin. I have to read the map. It's a little scrunchy. Yeah. But
It's Nomarian. That's fine.
I am from Nomarian. But yet, regardless, I'm here to help you now. So, lead the way, friends. I mean, unless you want me to. Bigby's pretty good in the darkness.
Oh, it might be helpful to have the owl go. You're from Nomrium? Oh, you're not that far then from Holdfast. Well,
Yeah, that's right. I've been there
Oh.
too, so we'll catch up
Oh,
later.
yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Okay, so we're going down this rickety ass ladder, right?
Alright, who's going down first?
Can we check to see how sturdy the ladder is first?
Yeah, you can do an investigation on the ladder.
Yeah, it might be an idea because, you know, like I'm a dwarf and I'm wearing... I weigh a lot every time I step down and I'm not
Actually,
exactly... really
I'm
good
quite
at
good at this sort of thing. Let me help you out there. Oh no! I rolled a 1.
Oh, Davey,
He's like,
yep,
yep, that's a ladder.
Davey,
Fucking Paylor's son of a.
come on, Davey. I'll give you a little help. Here, Davey.
Give it to the glowy sword one. Seems a bit more
Yeah.
primed to need it. Or use
There.
it.
Yeah,
Is anybody else
I
checking
just-
out this ladder? Is that all my rolls? Alright, so we got Roland and Dom kind of checking out this ladder. Davey kind of wanders over and gives it a kick with his foot. He's like, "Yep, looks good," and walks away.
Yep. I'm real good at this.
Dom and Roland are kind of being a little bit more careful, kind of looking at it, you know, testing it, moving it around or whatever. Dom, you believe this is a sturdy ladder. You could go down it with no problem.
Alright, he'll go down first.
All right,
Sure,
Dom's
you
going
got
down
any
first.
armor on? You're a tough guy. You go first. If you can get down there.
I'll head down second.
All right.
I'll go
So we're gonna
down
wait
before the
until-
elf.
Do you want them all? Why? We're not gonna be all on the ladder at once, right? Yeah, if it's rickety, probably can't take a lot of weight.
Oh, good
Well,
point,
considering
dude.
it's a long ways down that we don't even know where the bottom's at, it's probably going to have to hold all of us unless you want to wait here for a while.
I tell you what, which the one of you in the front, you good on the dog, or can put Bigby on your shoulder. He can sit, he can perch on you while you go down. Keep an eye out for you.
That'll work.
Alright. See, the owl who's like permanently stuck in a stink eye flaps up onto your back and just kind of sits there a little heavy.
Now, remind me here, does your owl have kind of its own abilities, like passive perception type stuff, or are you just
Yeah.
seeing
It
through
does.
its eyes? How does it work?
So, I could just kind of be on a psychic wavelength with it passively, but if I want to see through its eyes, I gotta, like, you know, sit down, go crisscross, like, my eyes roll the back of my head, and like, pale remind you, I see the owl, I see the demons.
Oh my
But,
god.
normally, yes, he's an owl with his own abilities, and he can just kind of telepathy tell me in basic terms what he's seeing.
Okay. I was checking out the sheet here. Just to see
Well, he
what you
could have
got.
just pecked Donna in the head. That
You
would
see
work.
his spells?
Okay. Alright. You may have to remind me that he's there.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
won't forget him. He's very cute.
So, you all start descending down into this mine, and eventually, the farther you go down, the more and more you get away from the light. And Dom, if you're going first, did you cast light on something other than the rock?
It's pretty much cast on. He usually casts it on his sword, but I guess at the moment it's just kind of, I guess, his helmet.
Okay, because you are getting to the point where it is pitch black. If any of you have ever gone on those like cave explorations and they turn out all the lights, like no amount of you trying to get your eyes to adjust is going to help you see your hand right in front of your face.
He's got
So-
to cast something that he's wearing.
Okay. Oh, and I forgot I didn't put my light macro in.
Oh, I
That's
should have.
sad.
I knew I took the wrong cantrips. I could have taken.
I don't know. Mark might be able to jump in there and help me out if he's listening. We need some light for Dom if you have a moment, Mark. All right, so you guys you're ascending, and it just seems like it goes on forever. It is this long, arduous climb, and it actually takes you over an hour before you believe you're actually getting to the bottom. You have to stop several times, just kind of wrap your arms and your legs around the ladder just to take a break. And by the time Dom actually kind of feels his feet hit ground, like I said, it's been just over an hour for you to get down there, and your arms and your legs are just burning from the rigorous activity. And I will move you guys over here. Give me just a second. Once you get your token on there, keep it in the starting area, please. That way we can make sure everybody can see, etc. This map does not like me moving around. I know Mark has some issues sometimes when he's moving things around talking. So if I cut out when I'm talking, somebody let me know so I know not to move things at the same time. And I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing?
I'm not there yet.
Oh, you're not there yet.
I'm not there either.
Neither am I.
Alright, I need to check your tokens. Because... Oh, nope, hold on. Let me move you over. I'm a noob DM sometimes. Alright. I think we got everybody now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There we go.
And I guess Big B, doesn't he?
Oh,
Yeah.
baby. Yeah. He gets to roll an initiative and everything.
Alright. there's Big B. Alright. Can everybody see?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on just a second. Oh, Dom, you still got your light on. Good. So either Mark fixed it, or... There we go. Aw, Mark's on my case about setting up character tokens. Thanks a lot, Mark. He's threatening to make a video and everything on how to do it. Alright. So, as you guys get to the bottom, you know, you're kind of wiggly legged when you get to the bottom because your legs and your arms are just burning from going down this ladder. So you kind of take a moment, brace yourself against the rock or whatever, kind of shake out your legs and whatnot. And as you're standing there, you're in kind of a smaller area. It looks like it kind of extends northward from where you're at. You're kind of in a little alcove a little bit. And about 10 feet from you, there's what appears to be a rail line for mining carts that kind of runs off down into darkness. And there are 3 carts that are sitting there, and they're pretty sizable. You think that you probably could fit a couple people in each one, basically, if they're like medium size or whatnot. And you just see the rail, it kind of goes downward off of a slope, down through these rough-hewn tunnels, and just kind of leads away into darkness. And you do see there are a couple intersections before it gets off into the darkness. You see it kind of goes in different directions.
How long did it take to climb the bloody mountain? I think we're under it. That ladder.
Oh, we can probably go another hour if we need to.
Hey, you think hopping in these mine carts should be reckless and impulsive? Should we do it?
Of course. All right. Can I check out the mining carts? Make sure it's got like brakes or like a handle or something to be able to brake if we're going downhill.
Yep, absolutely.
What do you want? You want perception or investigation?
Investigation, because you're actually up checking out these carts, looking at them.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little better.
So, I mean, even, you know, you're looking at them. They look like they're pretty sturdy for the most part. Eldero, you walk up and you're just like, wow, these have held up really well. These are actually in really good shape. You do notice that each of the carts has a handle on it that you would guess controls the brake, because it's kind of connected down to the mechanisms that are around the wheels. And each of them have one of these. And at the moment, it seems like it's engaged, so it's holding those carts there.
Are they all connected to each other?
They are not connected to each other. They're individual right now.
Can we tell what was in the carts? I mean, does it look like they're just dusty and they've been here for a while? Or does it look like there's mining or something's been in there recently?
There's nothing currently in the carts as far as like big rocks or whatever. There's probably a little bit of dust and debris that's fallen down or what's left over from what used to be in them. And it mostly just looks like rock debris from what you can see.
Now, how steep is the grade of the downhill slope?
It's pretty steep. Like once that cart gets down over the edge, it looks like it's probably going to take off pretty good.
It's going to be like a roller coaster. Roland wants to hop in the first one and be like, "Who wants to go with me?"
Oh, the children would love this.
Before
Alright.
we do that, Dom wants to kind of listen to see if there's anything else around. Is there
All right.
an echo in the distance or
Okay.
something?
So Dom kind of says, "Shh, everybody be quiet for a second." And you're kind of listening and looking around you. And sure enough, you kind of close your eyes to really take it in well. And you can hear what sounds like the echo of very small voices coming down one of the tunnels. You do not recognize what the language is.
All right, so it's not elf, dwarf, or draconic.
It is
I just want to come on,
not
Dom.
that you know of.
Hop in, Dom. Come on, let's try this.
Can I tell
I can talk to Davy and Gnomish.
which direction is it coming from?
It is coming from the left track that kind of branches off, and even as you're listening, it sounds like the voices are getting closer and closer, going.
Perhaps we should take these cards.
Everybody, roll me an initiative. The turn thing up here.
What? I didn't even get to roll the cart yet.
Hey, it never fails. There's something evil in front
Oh
of
wait,
it.
that wasn't for Big B. I didn't mean for it to be for Big B. Sorry. It's just,
You were clicked on Big B. Can you change it, or do I have to change it?
they're both the same. It works out. They both got
Got the same initiative? That's hilarious. Except you still rolled for Big B again. You need to roll for yourself. Alright, and then I will change it to an 18. Okay.
So I tell Davy and Gnomish, it's alright, we're in the back here. We'll let the big guys go get their heads bashed in.
Alright, so as you are standing there kind of taking in your surroundings going on, you start to hear these voices coming down the tunnel, and it just sounds like a flood of them. So many little voices, you can't even figure out what you're dealing with.
Is it coming from the direction that the carts would potentially take off to, or is it like the opposite?
You believe that more than likely these carts are going to go straight down and forward.
Like away from the voices is what I mean. Like, would this bring us to them or away from
Yeah,
them?
because the voices are coming from this area over here. See where I'm pinging?
Yeah.
That direction.
And the cart goes
Hurry
this
up,
way?
Dom. Get out of the
And
way.
the cart goes that way, correct.
Dom, get out of the way. Dom, move.
Alright.
I'm getting ready to pull this lever.
We're gonna do it in order though. So Davey, you are first. What are you doing right now?
Davey holds his action and goes, "Fucking hell! Get in the cart! I don't want to meet the locals."
You already jumped in a cart, in other words?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright. What is Big B doing?
Big B nervously clutches onto Davey's back.
Now you just told me you're holding an action. Are you holding it for something to happen?
I think if I see something violently approaching us, I'm gonna shoot something at it.
Okay. Big V is holding onto your back anxiously. Elder.
He's going to, I guess, get in the middle cart, and that's his turn.
Okay. This is going to be interesting trying to figure out where the carts are with your tokens. We may have to have one person's token represent whoever's in the cart so we can move it more easily. All right, so you are jumping in the middle cart with Finola,
Actually,
is that right?
He'll jump into the rear cart in case anything gives chase.
Okay, so I am going to actually move your token off, and we will say that Big B and Davy's token also represents you. That way we're not dealing with a whole bunch of tokens everywhere going
Does he have
crazy.
vision?
No, you wouldn't have vision, that's
I can't
true.
see anything
Give him
anymore.
control
That's
of
true.
Davy. Give him control of Davy's sheet or Big B's sheet as well. Then he can see. I think, right?
We'll just have to move the tokens as we go. I didn't think about
Slide
that.
them alongside.
Oh lord, this is gonna be fun. All right. So you jumped in there. Are you doing anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Roland.
I'm gonna yell at Dom. Dom, will you get in the damn cart? And I'm gonna hold my action for when he gets in the cart. I'm pulling this handbrake, and I want to go downhill.
Okay. He's ready to go. He's
As
making
soon
clicking
as-
noises. Click, click,
Yeah,
click,
exactly.
click.
I've got my hand on it. I'm ready to yank that thing backwards and take off.
Gotcha.
So as soon as he gets in the cart, action's gonna be pulling that lever.
All right.
I'm
Finola.
holding the action, and Dom, pull the damn cart, because as soon as you do, we're all coming with you.
All
We're all
right.
coming with you. Yeah.
Dom. Everybody's jumping in carts.
I'm going to turn around, look at him. Why are you all getting in the cart?
Just get in.
Get in the cart, pull the friggin' lever, and let's bonsai out of here.
But we don't know where the carts are going.
Who cares? We'll figure it out later.
When has not knowing something ever stopped this bunch?
You make a good point. And
So
he'll
as
get in
you're
the cart.
arguing, those voices are getting closer and closer.
Planning is not
Exactly.
one
You
of our
think they're right on
strong
top of you here any moment.
Can we tell what language they are?
Let's see. You posted yours. You do not know. Finola does not know.
Rob doesn't know. Roland has no clue.
I don't know what don't I know?
Speaks common notions. Davey doesn't know. Roland, you already know. You don't know.
That
Eldril knows Elven, Common Nosh. Okay, apparently nobody knows what these voices are saying. The owl knows and he's not telling.
Yep.
That
Big
Bigby.
nose.
Alright, Dom, what are you doing? You don't know what those voices are saying. All you know, McCree!
I know what they're saying now.
Alright, you understand the low meaning of the spoken language that you hear. Okay, that says it's a ritual. That's gonna take you an hour to be able to do that.
yeah, we don't have time for that. Get in the car.
Yeah.
He can spend a spell slot to do it, right?
Yeah, I can spin the slot and do it right now.
Okay, so you're expending a spell slot. Alright, you recognize the voices saying, intruder! Get him!
Oh.
They're at the entrance! Everybody come on! Let's go!
These voices
Somebody
sound
knows
very
we're
similar
here.
to the goblin voices we heard up above earlier.
The goblin voices you heard up above earlier?
when we
Well,
when we were in the town fighting, we heard goblins.
Oh. You probably picked up some similar words, but since you don't actually know the language, you would just guess that that kind of sounds similar to what I remember.
Okay. Sorry, Dom, go ahead.
Dom, just pull the fucking handle. Let's go.
No, he
Longest
needs to get
6
in the
seconds
cart.
ever.
Oh, he's not
Already got
even in the cart.
What?
Oh, trust the paladin. Oh,
Is he in the
get in the cart.
Yep.
All right,
Okay, I'm pulling the lever.
Great.
hold on. I'm gonna put his token on top of yours so I can move everything in unison here.
Okay.
All right, so Roland pulls the lever. Let's see. And now, Mark, you might have to speak up or message me or something. Does the cart move now or move later? That's one thing I'm not sure about at this moment.
Do we have to push them to get them going?
Now, as soon as he takes off the brake, it starts to roll.
Ah.
Who rolled for cart movement? What's going on?
I don't know. If they rolled that
Whee!
Top of the round.
Did Mark? Oh, I bet Mark put that in. Is that when the carts move, Mark? You have to speak up or do something, buddy, so I know what's going on. Oh, here we go. Okay. God, speak to me. They move at the start of a round. Ah! Very good. I missed that. Thank you. Okay, give me just a second. I want to read something here.
So if we all pull off the brakes, then it would
also
be when it
need-
says cart movement after Dominic, they would start going.
Yeah.
Watch it be like the first puzzle was like we had to pull the lever 20 feet ahead to make it not go into the pit of spikes that instantly killed you. But
Oh, why do you hate us? Oh, here come the goblins.
that initiative, I'm sorry. We don't see it. Shouldn't see it.
That's a perfect place for them to be, too. Good for them.
I think Dom was the only one holding his action to pull the lever.
No, I was the only
That
one
was
holding the
Roland.
action.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Roland.
But Lola was holding her action to pull the lever because she's waiting
All
for
right.
Dom to pull his lever. No point in her pulling the brakes off till he does. She's behind him.
Okay, so that being said, where was Roland? Roland was holding his action, so we're not doing that. Dom has jumped in. Is there anything else you are doing, Dom?
Just basically casting his ritual, trying to figure out what they're saying.
Okay.
I mean,
So
that
yeah, you
was
just
my
hear a
action.
bunch of, "Come on, guys, let's get them. Intruders in the caves. Everybody circle up this way. Follow me." That kind of stuff.
The cart
All right.
could move as a reaction.
The cart is going to start moving for you guys.
Did you read what Mark wrote?
Let me see. Could move as a reaction if a PC has a ready to action to activate the lever. Well,
That would
it's
be
time for the
me.
cart to move anyway, so it works.
No, but I have a ready to action. Mine should move twice, based on my ready action.
No, you're not moving
Yeah.
twice because your action was to pull the lever.
Exactly. So as soon as he got
Right.
in the cart, I pulled the lever on Dom's turn.
And it's time for the cart to move anyway. Quit
Ah,
arguing with me.
crap. That's crap.
It's not a Fred Flintstone cart. Not pushing it with your
Yeah,
own
it
feet.
is. Why not? It's hot rodded.
All right. I just want to read something real quick. Make sure I've got this. Bring the start of the turn. Okay. Okay, so you pull it, cart starts moving. All right. And you guys roll down the hill and around the corner. And you get to right there as you're starting to move.
But it doesn't go that way. It goes that way.
You're telling me which way the cart goes?
Well, that's the way that. That's, no, because that's the way the. Okay, I'm just following the actual map.
All right, Davey.
Wait, the
What are you
first
doing?
is Davy's cart stuck at the
I
back
think
right
so,
now?
that way.
Would
You
first
are at the
cart take
back.
off?
The first
No, wait.
cart has taken off. Dom and Roland, their cart is gone. It went down an incline and disappeared into the darkness.
Well, and Finola had
Fucking hell!
So-
Fucking hell, Vinola! Get your cart moving! The locals are. Do you
Okay,
think
well, I don't. Well, I have already pulled off the handbrake, but it doesn't seem
Yep.
to be moving.
Davy's ready in action to throw his knife at the first farking asshole who comes by here?
Okay.
Well, you know,
Did you,
and I can-
did you take your break off?
Oh, yes, of course, but I'm behind the.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
But
I'll
no,
use
I
the
took
action
my
to take
break
the
off.
break.
Okay, that's what I thought you had already said. What are you
Yeah, I
guys
had
doing?
a
Get,
ready to
get
action.
back in
I
your
had a-
cart.
I'm not doing anything. Somebody's moving me.
Is that Mark? Mark must be.
Okay, I
messing
had a
with the
ready to action for as soon as Roland went and opened, like, and got his cart going, and I was coming right behind him. So I'm all ready to
So
go.
you pulled yours as well?
Oh yeah, that was my ready to action.
Okay. Hold on. And
So-
you're in a cart by yourself, correct?
No, I'm in the cart with Elderel.
Oh, Elderell's in the
Elderell's
same
in the
cart as
back.
you.
Well,
Elderell's in the
Elderell
back.
switched.
Oh, Elderel switched to that.
Yeah, so
okay,
you're in a
I
cart
guess
by
I'm
yourself.
myself. Oh,
Right.
okay.
Should be
Oh, I got
alright.
my own cart. Oh, nice. Well, if Dignity needs more room, he can ride. Okay, so wherever my
All right, hold on a second. I'll move you. I'm going to be moving your tokens right now, controlling the cars. You guys are actually down here.
Whoa.
5, 10, 15, 20. Yep, you guys are actually down there. And Finola is... And actually... Alright, Finola, you are right on their tail.
Yeah, I'm right behind them.
You're right behind them.
Well, hi guys.
Hey.
Oh, that was fun.
Alright,
Woo! Children will love it.
David, you had a ready action to go as soon as she went, right?
I technically said to throw a dagger, but I think if Davey had known he had to pull his lever as soon as she did, he would have done that.
Okay.
Up to you. I'll do it now if I can.
Alright, so you guys also take off.
Hey, Eldoril, oh no, you're in the cart behind. Never mind, don't matter. I was
Alright,
gonna say you have your
so-
bow and arrow ready. Since I pulled the lever, that would you could have ready shooting things.
Well, that's why he
Okay.
switched to the back in case there's anyone who gives chase.
What's Bigby up to?
Well, how fast is the cart going? Because Bigby can only fly up to 120 feet per turn if he dashes.
I mean, once you guys got like down off this incline, you started picking up speed pretty fast.
Okay, the Bigby's
You're
claws
going
are
pretty fast at this point.
Yeah, I think Bigby, because he's kind of rude, has got his claws sunk into. Is it Elderil's in the cart? Like,
Oh,
not even
no.
Elderil. You feel the owl just kind of like digging into you, holding on.
Oh no!
Hope you got leather armor.
It's a good thing I like animals.
He seems comfortable around you, but that's his turn. He's hanging on, keeping his eyes peeled.
Elder, are you using your turn to yell in pain?
No, he has leather armor, so he should be fine.
Yeah.
Eldoril is
He's
ready with his bow in case anybody needs poking with an arrow.
okay. Readying to poke. Got it. Rolling.
Roland has both hands in the air going,
Woo!
and he's gonna just let it
Of course he
ride.
does. Of course he does. As you go around the corner, kind of get a little off the side. The wheels kind of come up a little bit.
Yeah.
Dom's like,
And,
quit that. All right, Finola. you're
Well, is that as
chasing
far
them
as you
down.
can- Yeah, I'm following right behind those guys,
Okay.
and my head's on a swivel either side in case we see any critters.
Okay. Dom. Moving real fast. With Roland in the car going, whee!
If we're going fast enough that the wheels are coming off the tracks, Dom's grabbing the brake and trying to slow us down.
Okay.
Well, great, and I'm gonna crash right
And
into the
Roland's
vacuum.
gonna ask him, "What the heck do you think you're doing?"
All right,
Keeping us at a
so
normal pace.
you're grabbing the brake, and are you trying to just apply it to slow yourself down, or are you actually trying to stop yourself?
Slow us down. I don't want to stop. I just want to not get that fast.
Okay. All right,
Oh,
you're trying to
trust the
slow yourself
Come on,
down.
have some fun!
All right,
Ride the
so at this point, the carts are gonna move. So since, oh great, now I grab both the tokens.
Jeez, trust the paladin to slow everybody down so it's not so fun. Jeez.
All right, so you are starting to slow, and Roland and Dom, roll me a perception check. All right, so Dom, you're very focused on this break. Roland, since you're the one kind of facing forward, like you start to notice that the rails seem to go off in two different directions, coming
Can I-
up pretty
Can I
quick.
tell? Can I look at the tracks and tell which way we're gonna go?
No. You don't know.
All right.
All right, Finola's cart is also going to move.
Oh, it's gonna be bumper cars. I'm gonna hit them in the back.
Yeah, you are.
Yep, so Finola's cart comes flying up behind you guys as you're applying the brake. and runs right into the back of you. Let's see what's gonna happen here.
Papagas!
Come on, where's my thing? Let's go. There we go. All right, let's see what's gonna happen.
Why
here.
is the paladin slowing down? We were having fun. Jeez.
We're all having fun
Paladins are
until
party
someone gets
poopers.
hurt.
All right. All right, so as Fenola's cart comes flying down behind, you ran into their cart so hard. And now what is it?
I just have visions of Finola just flying over their head.
Okay, so as she hits you guys' cart, it causes the back to come up off the rails and pitch you guys forward. And you guys are going to get thrown from the cart.
Yes. Totally awesome. Thanks, Finola.
Well, what's he doing putting the brakes on? He knew we were coming. What did he think?
I didn't want to stop. I just wanted to slow down.
Oh, they call them brakes for a reason.
What's the difference in speed between the two carts? Because we can figure out just how fast they're going in relation to each other.
Well, Mark's got it all figured out here. I just have to be a math person and get it all right. So give me a second here. Every 10 feet of speed beyond 30. So, I think. All right. So, the first roll is going to be damage on Dom. The second roll will be on Roland.
Sorry about that, Roland, but Dom slowed your cart.
All right.
I know, what a turd.
Dom, you're going to take 6 points of bludgeoning
Never
damage.
ride with the paladin. That's the
And
lesson.
Roland, you take 2 as your cart pitches forward and just kind of dumps you out onto the front of the tracks.
Oh, I was hoping
Run
for...
over by Finola.
Yeah.
I was hoping for
So
knockback.
your cart, it kind of got pitched forward a block basically. So you guys get thrown. I'm trying to move your tokens; they're not moving. Come on, guys.
I get thrown
This
here.
20's being stupid. You both get. We'll say that Dom went further since he had more damage.
And then the
And
cart.
you guys' cart kind of tipped forward and is now laying on its side in the tracks.
Awesome. And Finola should have moved up one more into our location.
Oh, she is. We're taking place one little thing at a time here. So she hits you guys. Her momentum continues to push her forward.
Of course, I'm gonna go ass over tea kettle right on to clown.
All right. So Finola's cart
And
hits the
I'm
cart that is
aiming
now
for
in the way.
Dom.
Throws Finola.
On top of
Takes-
Dom.
Where's my roller? There we go.
Thanks, Dom.
Who takes 5 points of damage from being thrown from her cart.
Good job, Dom.
She
You're
actually
killing the
kind of
party.
ends up not on top of Roland, but on top of the cart in front of her, and her cart also kind of just crashes. Hers doesn't derail; it's just kind of sitting there now. All right, and then
Put your brakes on, Davy! The idiot paladin is trying to kill us all.
Fucking hell!
Can we get a
Hold your
quick
rings,
save?
baby!
we will say because you guys are a little bit farther back, roll me a perception check for you guys to see what's going on. Because
Would
you're a
you
little
see
bit
if it is-
farther back from everything.
What? Listen to what I'm telling you.
Elderil's looking the wrong way.
Yep.
Elder's looking
He's
backwards.
gonna do a backflip if this cart hits.
So,
Where is-
Davey, you don't necessarily see what's going on, but you can hear. There's a whole lot of crap, metal against metal and such like that going on ahead of you.
Okay.
You don't know exactly what's going on though with
So,
yours. So let's see. 5, 10, 15. So you also come flying down around the corner.
now,
And you guys crash into her cart.
Oh, I was gonna ask. It might be a bit much, but it would look really cool. Could Davy use lightning lure as a reaction to Indiana Jones onto a stalagmite and try to swing off at the last second?
What does that involve you rolling?
I don't, maybe like I have like acrobatics or sleight of hand or dex, whatever you want. Really, he's aiming like an electric rope at something and trying to grab it and swing, but.
You're trying to do a lot at once, and
fair.
with your perception, I don't think that you would think quick enough
You got
to
a 20
do
die.
that.
Well, if you cry out, maybe that would allow Eldoril to make a dex save and grab the two of you and like, leap off or
No.
something.
He's definitely screaming at the last second.
You guys' cart is flying too quickly at this point.
Oh
All right, so
my God. Mark,
First-
Mark, the carts are genius.
I knew you would like this.
Especially with this bunch.
All right, so
They're all crazy.
first damage roll is on Davy, second one's on Bigby, third one's on Eldoril.
Wait, does the owl take it though? He can fly. Like, wouldn't he just kind of like just?
You can fly off? Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't the owl just kind of like, if he went flying, wouldn't he just stay up there? He'd just kind of be like,
Yeah, wouldn't he just glide?
yeah.
Fly up in the air
Well,
and
we'll
glide?
say that Big B is awesome enough. Big B's awesome enough. As you're flying around the corner, he somehow knows this is gonna end no good, and he just kind of flies off of Eldoril's shoulder, and Eldoril's just kind of like, "Where'd the owl go?" And all of a sudden, you guys crash. So first roll is Davy, second one is Eldoril.
Alright. You left me, Big B, you fucker.
Alright, so 4 for you, Davy, and
Okay.
3 for you, Eldoril.
I almost spewed my drink all over the.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, so wait,
Because I
how
have to
far?
be able to breathe to run this.
Like, I went comically flying off of this thing, right? So like,
Yes, you went
I'm like
comically
over here.
flying onto
Just like-
Finola.
okay.
Because everybody's momentum is going forward. So,
Oh,
as
it's
you
like
kind
playing
of
with
hit,
Callum when he jumps in the air and I have to catch him.
we're gonna say for right now you ended up at the side though. Where'd you go, Davey?
Oh, I'm here. You see me?
Alright. There you go.
Alright.
Go ahead and just put yours beside Finola. There we
Go.
go. And then Eldoril kind of lands right there as you guys' cart also collides. Oh. Alright.
Okay.
Wow. Alright, Davey.
Forget, listen, you dumb fucks. Someone take a rope, tie it between the 3 brakes, so whatever one of the brakes does, they all do. What the fuck were you thinking, Paladin? Davey's just gonna get up and just.
And I have rope, but nobody asked.
I didn't think he's gonna be a fucking idiot about it.
Well,
That's just. Yeah, that's
now
Davey
you
and
know
Bigby's
what.
turn.
I told you he was stuffy. We should have got him laid before he left. He would have had more fun.
Well, there is a dead
Oh,
end
yeah.
there. We could all be
Leaves him clear-headed.
nice against
That's
the
fair.
end.
Alright,
Well-
that's Davey and Bigby's turn, pouting.
Yeah. Dom want to point to the dead end. Would you all rather go splat in the wall?
Oh, sweet! Alright.
Well, a little bit of warning, like way back about
Are we
another
still in
100 feet
initiative?
might have been like good.
We're being chased.
I don't. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, you don't hear any voices at the moment, so we are out of initiative. I'm just gonna clear it out.
Hey, Paladin, did you say those goblins said that was the entrance? You think they climb down the whole fucking ladder every time they come in?
Do we know they were goblins?
I mean, I don't know. Well, they had low voices, right? I mean, park. I don't know. I'm just assuming. Maybe they were
Well,
something else.
whatever characters they were, but they can't be going up and down that fucking ladder over and over and over.
That's a fucking climb. We just went down it. Imagine going up it.
Oh, I don't wanna. My legs hurt just thinking about it.
Alright, so, can I say, Finola, get off my cart, and I want to try to move the cart off of... I want to try to move my derailed one back on.
All right, you're gonna need some strength for this.
Finola, give me a hand.
Oh, okay. What do you need?
Help me lift this cart back on the tracks.
Okay. You need me to be lifting, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then can I help her?
Well, before we start lifting, let me give you a little guidance. I'm gonna give myself a little guidance. I guess I can give some guidance. I can't give you guidance. So I'm giving you a wee bit of guidance to help lift it. Get ready,
Alright.
and then I'm helping you, so I'm rolling a bit of strength here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm really horrible flipping this page around. Okay, so I'm rolling a bit there.
Okay. So Finola
Okay.
manages to get this cart back on the tracks. Her dwarven knowledge of caves and
Yeehaw!
tracks and stuff like that.
Up
She
you go!
expertly just puts it right back on the track by herself.
Okay, I want to hop back in my cart,
Okay.
and I want to hold on to the handbrake, and I just want to let it go a little to see which way the cart is going to go. Is it going to go straight, or is it going to turn to the left?
So you put it on before the brake, the sort of Y in the track. I'm trying to determine if it's gonna roll by itself right now.
Just give it a wee push. and we'll
Yeah,
see
you're
if
probably
it
going to
goes.
need a push to get it going again at this
Well, that's
point.
fine.
It's kind of just even ground at this point. Is somebody going to push him?
Okay, I'll give him a push. Jeez. I should have
Alright.
brought the children. They would have had lots of fun.
So Finola gives you a push.
So I'm give you a push here. I'm pushing.
Yep. So Roland, your cart starts to roll again. Roland's rolling in his cart.
All right.
Roll.
And it goes to the left.
Rolling.
It goes to the left.
It goes to the
Sweet.
left. It goes
Okay,
that direction.
I kind of want to hold onto the brake and just apply a little bit of brake so I keep it rolling. And I want to say, all right, who's with me?
I'm coming. My legs are killing. Get it.
All right, so Finola's hopping in the cart with me.
Yeah, I'm getting in the cart with the whole.
All right.
Go rolling.
All right, so we are gonna take off
Rolling,
from
we're rolling.
Rolling with Roland.
Are you guys coming or not?
Rolling with
Yeah, Dom will follow.
Do you think this
Follow
thing
in it
was
hard or follow walking? Because they're not rolling very fast now.
Wait, I think I still have my orders from the boat.
As a matter of fact, because Roland's kind of applying the brake, they're starting to slow down.
Well, no. Now that Finola's in, I want to let go.
Okay, well, even so, you're on even ground. And even though she gave you a push,
Oh, okay.
you start to get, like, up here around this area, but it just starts to lose momentum because you don't have that initial swing to
Alright.
get you going.
Oh, we don't have enough of an incline.
Is there any downhill?
All right, let's stop real quick and let's give some other people a chance to tell me what they're doing. Dominic, you're just kind of walking beside him.
I'm trying to listen to see if whoever's coming after us.
Okay, did you roll me a perception? I don't see it.
Not
here.
yet. I was kind of waiting to see what they did.
Okay, go for it. Oh, okay.
Woo!
Dom hears all the sounds of the mine. So you obviously hear the cart kind of rolling. You of course probably hear Finola and Roland arguing over who gets to pull the lever, and how fast they should go. There's obviously a lot of cave sounds going on, some water dripping, just some movement of the natural rock kind of cracking a little bit. Nothing that seems dangerous, just normal sounds of the earth moving basically. You do quite a bit farther back hear what you think are the very faint voices, but they don't seem to be getting any closer to you. Let's see, what else with your perception? That's... Let me see here for a second. You do, however, believe, with your outstanding roll, that you're hearing voices ahead of you to the north. They're kind of faint and farther back, but you feel like the voices are coming from ahead of you now. Very similar tone.
Well, if Roland and Fiona are getting back in the thing to go rolling, I'll tell them, well, if you go in that direction, I recommend you duck, because there's going to be some more that way.
All
They
right.
all hide in them.
Eldero, what are you doing right now?
Well, I guess they're not rolling that quickly.
They're rolling very slowly. They're on even ground, so even with Nola's push, once the two of them got in the cart, it started to kind of weigh it down, and it's rolling, but it's not rolling very fast. They probably are going to need another push soon.
I think he's going to. He heard Dom talk about other voices further on. He's going to, well, attempt to stealth, but he's going to scout to the left and see what's going on.
Okay. As you're heading that way, Davey, what are you up to? Looking for your stupid owl?
Aye, no, Bigby's here. He's a clever bastard. For the sake of simplicity, Davy's just gonna follow Elderil unless otherwise stated.
Okay. So Elderil's starting to move. Alright, so you're following the track as it goes to the left. You notice as you get farther in, the walls seem to be getting a lot closer to the tracks. It's kind of a snug fit. Like just enough room for the track and the cart to get through, and the wall is like on both sides right there. But you don't hear or see anything. It just looks like a dark tunnel.
So many unknowns. Wait, we don't hear anything. No longer the voices.
Not the voices you were hearing before. Have you rolled me a perception check? You can roll me a perception check to see what you hear going on.
Alright, let's see what Bigby and I have a listen for. I'll just
Is
roll
that
for
you or
Bigby.
the owl?
It's technically the owl. He's a bit better at it than I am, so he usually...
The owl's nibbling at your ear.
Aye. Bigby! Why don't you telepathically intuit me what the fuck's going on?
He's still nibbling at your ear.
Bigby! We had to talk about this! Not now! Not in front of the others!
I'm gonna have to spend half my day with my mic off.
Guys, I have to be able to move to run the game! Oh my god. Oh,
yeah,
this is such good stuff. Okay. Yeah, Big B doesn't know what's going on.
Hey, bird! I didn't bring in you got some bird seed for him or whatever it is. It doesn't have mice.
He's conjured. He don't need to eat shit. He's good.
Oh, well, okay. Well, you know, I thought he might like some jelly babies or something, but that's okay. I got some dolly mixtures in here, but I guess not.
We ain't no shite about where we are, what's going on, what the fucking voices are. Let's just... I'm getting a little uneasy. Getting a little shaky.
Okay, so, well,
Let's figure
where's
this
the elf? He's just hiding somewhere. He's the one that sees better. Well, unless your owl does. Hey, Bigby, could you go
Finola
slide
and
around?
Roland, your card has continued to roll, and it's now rolling to the left. It's heading in this direction slowly.
Oh, we're slow.
Somebody
Well,
push
it beats
me.
walking. It beats
Somebody
okay,
push
I'll
me.
give you one more push because it beats walking.
Hey,
Uh,
Bard, you got Tinser's floating disc and 20-foot long plank.
you
No.
could definitely use a thunder wave at this point, Roland.
No, I'm not
give him
thunder waving that.
ideas.
Don't give me that idea. Last time I thunder waved in the cave, it knocked me out.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, don't do that in the cave.
Vanilla getting out and giving you another push.
Yep.
And then
She should summon her weapon to push him.
The thing is if you get out and push him, he's gonna go forward. You're gonna have to like run
I'm
and take a
running
jump.
and jumping
No,
back and
I'll go
I'm
ahead and I'll
running
reach out my
jumping in.
hand for her.
Yeah, just put me in roll and I'm coming.
You're still gonna need some athletics to pull this.
Oh well.
Pushing a cart, running up behind it, grabbing a hand, jumping in. We're gonna call athletics. Alright, so Vanilla gives you a mighty push, realizes she pushed too hard, and the cart gets up ahead. And she kind of runs up and reaches out and tries to grab your hand and just misses you. So the cart has continued to roll just with rolling in it. Hold on.
Bye, Roland!
Don't run me over.
So Roland's rolling pretty good now. Roland's up here.
Look out, Elder. Here I come.
Alright,
Run for your
you're
life,
just following
Elder!
behind. Alright. Elderill, you start to hear them yelling at you. The sound of wheels on a track is getting closer.
Elderill looks back and he's like, oh dear. He's gonna continue forward.
Okay. Stay
Just
just
leave
ahead
the
of the car.
cart when it's flying by you, Elf.
Oh boy.
He's gonna roll perception again to see if he can hear anything, see anything.
From
notice
where
anything.
you're at in the cave, it's pretty quiet, very dark, more the typical cave noises. The track obviously is continuing northward. Again, it's very kind of tight and cramped in this area, but other than that, you don't notice anything out of place or threatening.
Okie dokie.
All right, what's everybody else up to?
Was there a way to lock the carts together? Like, you know, some mine carts you can like, they got interlocking parts in between them.
I don't think anybody really took close enough to look at that, so you could go
What?
back
I
and look
don't-
if you wanted to.
I don't go talk about when I take a shite or breathe either, man. Can you just tell?
The regular thing with Davey. He sees a minecart, he
Hey.
sees if they interlock.
He's arguing
Yes,
with
it's
God.
a natural thing. If these things are going to be all disconnected, one idiot can crash into the back of the other. But just
That's a good point.
we got to be going together.
More
Anyway,
than
so-
likely, based on what you know about a cart in general, is usually they can be locked together, but you don't know if you saw anything on these particular ones that lock together.
Literally, like a little hook on the end of each, tie some rope together. It's not a freaking magic science.
Well, it's okay. We'll know that for the next time, Davey. I got me rope and I got me grappling. Then that
Alright,
was
I'm
the-
hopping in with Fanola.
Come on. Well, I'm not in the
Vanilla doesn't have a
Roland
cart.
was
The only
the
person
first
rolling right now,
Roland is
because of his
rolling, but-
mighty push,
It looks like you're
has
pushing a baby.
continued to move around the corner in his cart past Dom. He kind of waves as he goes by.
Yeah.
And Dom's
Hi,
just
Dom.
shaking his head like, how did I end up with these children?
I see
Babysitting.
rolling carts. We all take
Dom,
carts,
give me
we
a
all go
push
like-
while you're there. If you're not gonna do anything, just stand there. Go and push me. Come on.
Dom's
It's
got
your
a
fault we're in
beat
this mess
on
anyway.
it. We could have used that
Would have
half
pulled
an
the stupid
hour ago.
handbrake.
We need that bracelet.
Look. Yeah, can we all just get carts, link them together, and go as a group? Don't need to be taken one by foot, one by the cart. Yeah.
Yep, that's fine. We probably need to do that, but we need to hurry up.
Yep.
We got somebody coming.
Alright, so you
So
guys
we
are
going
going
back
back
to the
after the
cart?
carts?
I
I
thought
think
they
it was
were with
skedaddle.
us.
No. The only cart that I was told got tipped back over and moving is the one that Roland's in. The other two
Yeah,
carts
I
are
picked
back
up
where
the
they
cart.
crashed.
That's why you need to
Okay.
push me, Dom.
All right.
And through the carts, Dom's going ahead. He's not going back.
Alright, everybody hold on for a second. I want to read some stuff here real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything.
Don't run from me. Push me.
Should lasso him with your
Dom will use Mage Hand and thump you on the ear.
At least thump the cart. Come on.
No. Okay, so that's not anything.
Well, we could, but you know, the only maybe on a push him, I got left in me. And the paladin's got mage hand, but he's not helping.
You could push him back up the incline and then jump in and ride them back down.
Oh, one for the elf. Good
Or
job.
we can go ahead and cast Minor Illusion, and I'm gonna make a cart right next to Dom. And I found your cart.
You saw you cast that spell. You had to make noise to do it.
Okay, what's everybody doing? Roland's casting a spell?
Yes, Roland is casting Minor Illusion, and he's placing a
Dom's trying to
mining
catch up
cart
with,
right next to
Eldarin.
Dom.
You
Okay.
won't be suspicious when it just magically appears. Right next
Yeah,
to it.
I found you a cart.
I have a feeling Dom doesn't need to roll for this to know if it's real or not.
That cart can hold as much of me as apparently your skull holds in brains.
Alright, Roland got a push, so Dom's ahead of him, but he's gaining on.
Get out of the way. And give me a push.
Oh my.
Keeping you around is like having a 5-year-old.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Never walk. Okay, come on, Davey. Okay, I'll give us a big push here.
Alright,
Get in,
let's
Davey.
resolve what Davey are up to here. What are you guys up to?
We're grabbing
Yeah,
the carts,
maybe-
flipping them and pushing them, and
I
roping them
already
together if
flipped
they can.
mine.
Okay?
Yeah, I flipped the cake.
So,
and then I'm pushing them.
upon closer inspection of these carts, you do see that the one behind has a pin that looks like you can put them together and just drop the pin in. Put them together.
Okay, so should we take both carts? I guess we better because Dom's not going to come back and get one.
That's right.
Okay, so
Flip 'em
let's
up.
push this one over to the other one.
Yep, link them together and get a
Yeah,
little push start.
okay. Okay, bring them
Okay.
up over here because we're going this way.
Wow.
Make sure we get them.
Finola,
get
where
them here.
did you go?
Okay, so we've got
Finola
both
jumped big
carts.
time.
We've got 2 carts. I don't know how
There you go,
move
right
this
there.
one.
Push them.
So the
There
2
they
carts are here, yeah, okay. So I
Alright.
couldn't get
While you
couldn't
guys are
get
doing
close
that,
enough.
are you guys gonna like stop and wait for them? Roland and
Well,
Dom
we're hooking-
continuing.
Well, we're
No,
hooking up the
I'm
2
not
carts
stopping.
together.
I'm just gonna let my cart keep rolling.
Alright, you guys
And
keep
then
rolling up
we get
around
the-
here the corner. And you're starting to lose momentum again.
Oh, I am.
man, I didn't push that one
Yeah.
hard enough.
Aye. Has it got pedals?
Finola and Davey, you're just pushing your carts, right?
Right.
You're not actually in them. Okay, you're pushing
No,
the
we're-
carts. Oh,
No,
you guys
we're
left the
gonna
cart
get back
behind.
in it. We're gonna, okay,
That's Finola
no, we
car.
tried to get both. I
There's the other cart.
couldn't pick it up.
And they're pinned together if we could have.
There we go.
Where'd you guys get this cart from? Did Roland leave his
Don't ask.
behind? All right, we're gonna. I'm taking the carts off the map. It is too much trying to keep track of this. Goodbye, carts.
Go on, Paladin. Hey, Paladin! That's the first time Helm answered one of your prayers and he took our carts away.
All right. Oh, good lord. Eldero, you are continuing. As you kind of come up towards the top, you notice it dead ends. The tracks go off to the left and also to the right. And you notice as you look down the track that kind of goes to the right, you notice it appears that it dips down fairly sharply, going downward
Yes.
to the right.
Finola, push me.
Okay.
Lord.
Does he notice anything else? Hear any voices? Can he see anything further? Just that.
Let's see. Perception 18. Oh yeah, you're pretty sure you hear a commotion of the same sort that you kind of heard back in the other tunnel. Bunch of little voices, but they don't seem alerted to anything. They just seem like they're kind of talking amongst themselves.
That's from the right.
Yeah, the way you're kind of looking downward where this track kind of goes sharply down
Okay.
into darkness.
Elderil will wait for the others to catch up, since he can hear them coming.
Okay. So eventually, Finola and David, you're going to come up on Dom and Roland, whose cart is not moving anymore unless somebody's going to continuously jump out and push it.
I'm done pushing. I'm tired now. I'm not going to be pushing.
Are you guys pushing the carts now? Is that what's going on?
No, I'm not pushing the
Oh, you're
carts
just
anymore.
leaving them?
I'm tired now. Come on, Davey.
Okay.
We're leaving the cards?
It looks
For now,
like
for now, we'll come back.
That's crap.
we've had
I
enough.
know, but Dom won't use his mage hand to push, and I'm getting tired.
Why would the carts even be unlinked?
Well, I don't know. That's goblins for you. Okay.
Do we know that's them?
Well, whatever. Some kind of crittery thing. Not too smart. Okay.
Well, there
Oh, hi,
appears to be
Elro.
voices coming from the right here.
Well, let's
Oi,
avoid
Bigby,
them
see
then.
something? Oi, Bigby. Bigby fucking see something. You fucking
Well,
see
what's he
something.
say?
Little green ones. Hold on. He says quite a bit. Bigby. He says. 5, 6.
Yeah,
Holy shite! Quite a bit of green ones.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so
yeah.
through Bigby's eyes, you'd be able to see there, and you can't see him real clearly from where you're at, but there's definitely little humanoid creatures moving around down below.
Little green shite.
mean-
She doesn't like the look of them.
How many? Like 3 or
Well,
20?
Bigby might not be able to see them all, but he sees at least 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He
He's
sees
an
at least
owl.
10.
It's not like he can count.
Oh, he's smart enough to count.
Oh, is he?
Haven't you seen the Alf Tootsie Pop commercials with the thing on his head? He knows how
He's a
many
hummingbird.
legs.
3?
Owl's a bird of prey. They're smart.
We just totally blew that out of the water.
Yeah.
Owls
I'm
can
so
count.
confused.
Yeah.
Okay, so
He can't
how
count
do we
legs to
get
get the-
Elder or Owl? I don't. One. Is there anything? Is there anything to the left?
So
I want to
real
look
quick
at Finola and I
before
want to
we
tell her to keep her voice down.
before we
What?
continue on, let's
What did you say?
take a break since we're coming up on 9 o'clock. let's do 10 minutes. We'll come back at 5 after 9 or 5 after. We'll just call it 5 after, and we'll continue on. Give me a 1 in the game when you're back and ready to go again.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Nah, but haven't you heard of like